Hello there and welcome back to KleverStock. You're with me, Wanizul Islam, and my two co-hosts, Pavitra and Hikmah. Are you mentally fighting with yourself about money? No need. We will do it for you. So, welcome to our new segment, Rich or Regret, where we find out if the next financial decision that you make will either make you rich or make you regret it. All right. So basically the new segment is all about having a debate about all your everyday financial troubles. Like for today's topic, an interesting one, we'll be discussing the growing trend of pay later versus that of pay now. As many of you know, platforms like Shopee, Grab, among others, they offer a pay later option, allowing you to either pay in installments or have them, cover the cost upfront for you. On the other hand, paying now, which is the traditional way of doing it, means you make an immediate payment, often requiring you to save up for bigger purchases like laptops or high-end smartphones, the works. So lately, there's been a lot of discussion about this, which option is better. So that's why we have our two co-hosts here who will be debating and arguing the merits of both pay later and pay now. All right, so without further ado, let me introduce our fellow debaters. On my left, we've got Hikmah, who will be representing Team Pay Later. Hikmah, can you share with us why you are in favor of pay later and what advantages it offers compared to that of paying up front?
Thank you, Wan. That was a good intro. For me, I believe I am more into the pay later side because it gives you the flexibility and you can, instead of paying everything upfront, you spread it out in few months. For example, some app do offers 3 to 4 months, and why not you just keep the money instead of paying everything upfront? You keep aside some money and then just pay each little amount each month. It gives you flexibility and you can use that money for other purposes instead of just spending it for that particular item that you want to buy.
Okay, interesting opening argument. Thank you so much, Hikmah. Now we've got, on my right, we've got Team Pay Now. We have Pavitra. So, Pavitra, it seems like, Hikmah is confident that pay later is the better choice. Why don't you explain why you believe that pay now is the smarter option?
Okay, thank you, Juan. And for me, right, I feel like pay later can lead to impulsive buying decisions. And when it comes to pay now, it actually fosters your financial discipline. And by doing so, you get to live within your means and also prioritizing your needs over wants. Whereby with pay later, we usually intend to go like, oh, you know what, with this option, I can get all this. And then we will be hanging with the future obligations that is about to come to us. So that is why I choose the option pay now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Pavitra. And with that, let the debate begin. I'm going to be asking you guys a couple of questions about pay now versus pay later. You guys will argue those questions and amongst yourselves. Please, I want a clean fight. Okay. No cat scratching, no nothing. All right, guys? All right? So, may the best debater win. All right, guys, now we're back with the debate for rich or regret. We have Team Pay Now versus Team Pay Later, those two options on the balance right now. So the first question that I'll be putting up for them to debate about is, which model promotes better financial discipline among younger generations? Pay now or pay later? So who's going to take the first approach to this?
Okay, I think I'll go first because we know for each pay later option, they do have deadline, right? Where you need to do your payment before certain deadline that they give. And you're not just doing pay later, just like they come with term and regulation. And if you happen to not adhere, there will be consequences, right? So by using pay later, actually you are kind of trying to make yourself more disciplined in terms of adhere to the payment deadline. Like you
what if they don't adhere to it?
that is where they will face the consequences or they will get the penalty. So with this penalty actually will motivate you, will keep you on track with your spending and also pay on time payment.
Okay, so if you don't pay, you get penalized.
Yeah.
If you do pay, then good for you. What about you, Pavitra? Who do you think is more financially disciplined among, especially the younger generation, when it comes to pay now or pay later? Who do you think?
Okay, so now since the genre is about the younger generations, I would say that the financial literacy, it's very minimal for the younger generation. Even we adults, we can fall in this trap. I've been on this trap. I'm saying based on my experience, okay? So now when we're speaking about this younger generation, I would say that pay now is a better option. Okay, for example, the parents give them allowance. That would be sufficient maybe for their assignments or their food expenses and whatever not. And now if they sign up themselves for pay later options, yes, it's going to be, it would be easy for them to have it now, but then the future obligations would be critical. What if they don't have enough to pay it?
And I think in terms of pay later, right, it's provide you an upfront cost, like they cover the upfront cost for you, and they also give you a credits there, meaning using this you're actually training yourself how to use credit, how to have a good credit score through adhering to each payment. And if you fail to do so, of course it's going to be bad on your record. So it's gonna good way of training yourself to become disciplined, because in future more financial obligations are coming. You might want to have loan, bigger type of loans. So using pay later, because they have a limit amount. So sometimes it is like they give you starting 1,000, and once you pay off everything, then they will maximize the credit for you. So that way they're already training you.
So there's a little bit of financial literacy involved there, whereby they are training you in a way lah. You say financial literacy is one of the things that are very important, especially for the younger generation, but apparently pay later helps you with that. Any other point that you want to bring up with regards to paying now and financial discipline?
Okay, so like what Hikmat told us just now, that it actually puts us in a practice of financial discipline, whereby paying now, we don't have to go through that pathway, about practicing ourselves and whatever not. You just pay it and you have it. You don't have to worry about anything else that hanging around or hovering around us. Yeah, so for me, I feel like paying now is a safer option.
Safer option.
Yes.
The safety of not having to pay any penalties.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so
Due
now
to deferred payments. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to our next question that I'm going to put up for our debaters. Can paying now help consumers build credit faster, or does paying later, if managed responsibly, also support healthy credit growth? So you guys did mention about this in your previous point about financial literacy and healthy credit growth. So what can you argue with regards to this? A continuation from the first point that you guys made just now.
Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Okay, so obviously paying now, it does not help with the accumulation of credit growth, but it helps with maintaining a positive financial profile, which will come handy later on when we are applying loans such as houses, cars, and etc. like that.
So you're basically starting blank lah.
Yes, and you'll have a clean profile.
A clean profile.
And for me, I feel like with pay later, if we fall in this trap of late payments and all that, for example, a Tommy, it can fall under CITOS. CITOS, is that right?
Yeah.
CITOS, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can avoid all this and just pay now.
Okay, Hikmah, what do you have to say to that?
Okay.
Because you do get penalized.
Yeah.
We get penalties with pay later, and those penalties do affect your credit score in the future.
In terms of how fast it will help the credit grow, I'm not quite sure, but I do believe it's a long-term kind of the way you are spending. Okay, once you already you're already used to pay later, that will be your kind of the way you spend. And in future, if it also depends on how much you spend. So the more you spend, and the more the good, if you are a good paymaster, so it will help enhance your credit scoring because the timing and date and everything. That's what I think.
But that if we are like a good paymaster,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what are the consequences if we are not?
That is a
the
good
pay
question.
now options don't face it.
I guess we know who wins that round. Okay, fantastic. I think on the level we've got very good arguments from both sides of the table right now. So we're going to move on to our next question, our second last question that I'm going to be putting up for the debaters is, how does widespread adoption of either pay now and pay later affect that of the overall economy? So now we're thinking about overall economy, not just the younger generation, but also that of, you know, the frequent shoppers, those from B40, M40, you know, those who require it. Overall economy, which one do you think is better, pay now or pay later? Hikmah, go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll go first. I believe that actually when you do pay later, you help the economy by increasing your consumer spending. Also spur the demand of each product and each market, for example. And if you have the access to that upfront credit, I mean, you can spend. I mean, you don't have to, you know, save up to spend for something that you want or something that you want to experiment to. And we have many new sector right now, like the retail, technology, and all that. And it gives you a consumer power. So when you're using pay later, and it will help the overall economy once you spend, meaning you are boosting the revenue of each industry. So.
It also gives the option of those who cannot afford to be able to afford.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so on the other hand, pay now, obviously it fosters our economy stable because it promotes saving by paying now. And we can use that for future investment or even help sectors like real estate, tourism and stuffs like that. And I'm so sorry to say this, but maybe pay later can link to, with all these late payments and all that, right? I feel like the bankruptcy and the debts and all that in the country might rise.
And then it also helped to create a new industry, I mean like good credit industry, you know, because right now there are more players are coming with pay later option. It was from Atomy first, right? But then now it's Shopee and Grab, and they're also venturing. I mean, it's going to create a new industry of credit that will control or monitor each of the consumer spending.
Okay, but this is just an expansion of businesses, right? How about our consumer habits? The expansion of businesses coming to the table, but how we put it on the table, like what if we can't pay? That's what I meant. You know, like economy-wise, we won't have the rates of the bankruptcies and debts and all that. It would reduce if we choose the option of paying now, and we can use those savings for our future economy, like the real estate, tourism, agriculture, whatever not. That's what I mean, you know?
Yeah, and I do believe sometimes we don't really spend that much, okay? These are something we just spend for electronics, something that is not it's not offered. It's like a very it's not something that we spend for everyday thing. Like you buy electronic, you use pay later. I mean, you spread it 4 months. You don't have to worry like saving that bulk of money. And then maybe you can use that money for other expenses like emergency. Put a cap on it, like maybe only 20% of the money you can save for pay later, and then use the next for paying for your credit.
Okay, so that means you're telling me that the future payments are secure.
Yes.
You believe in that?
I do believe in secure because right now BNPL it is regulated, it is controlled by Bank Negara, so
no,
it cannot
not by them, but the future payments by yourself within your means.
Yeah, I do believe because when it already becoming your lifestyle, you will tend to be more disciplined and you control yourself because you know the consequences. You know, because this is the regulated industry.
Okay then, let us move to our next and final question.
That was almost going to hit up, but fine.
It's okay. That's what we have to debate about. Professional debate. All right. So our next question. This is the final question. Before we sum things up, is paying now a more cost-effective choice, or can pay later systems offer a better deal if used wisely. We know that Pay Later, they've got all these vouchers, all these platforms got vouchers and everything, so it might be, you know, twinkling in the eyes. People will see it and will like, oh, I can pay later and I've also got vouchers. But then you've got the pay now option, whereby some pay now options also give you vouchers, or you pay the full amount now, you get a certain discount off, and then you get it on the spot. You know, you don't have to wait for delivery, you don't have to, you know, there's a lot of good and bad side for both options. So who's going to explain to me which option is better when it comes to better deals?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Because credit, we know they are paying upfront for us, and sometimes deals promotion can happen any days, and you happen to need something that day. So, but you don't have the money with you, but you need something, and you need to buy it. Like, it will affect your life if you don't purchase it. So with the credit, you can use the money and go for the promotion and deals and save up from there. And it helps you to, it gives you a better deal. You know, you don't have to wait. You get the promotion with a discount price, and also save up money.
So it
by
all
using the
depends
payment.
on timing
Yeah,
as
time
well.
is a time-sensitive product.
Okay. And I believe that the benefit apply the same for Pay Now as well. You know, the retailers, they still give incentive, they still give discounts and all that. But what we can save ourselves from is the hidden charges behind the curtains. The hidden charges,
Do pray tell. Do pray tell. What hidden charges are you
like
talking about?
late payments, admin
Yeah.
fees because of deferred payments, whereby in Pay Now we don't have to worry about that. You can apply the discounts, you can apply the incentive, Pay Now, and take it back home.
Then again, most of Pay Later doesn't come with interest. You know, it is zero interest. It only happen if you don't pay.
Partially of them.
Yeah, the penalty or this hidden charge only happen if you don't pay.
But
If
there
you're
is
good-
still, but it's still
A risk.
instilled.
Yeah, there's a
Instilled.
risk, but
We
usually
don't have that when it comes to Pay Now.
It seems that both our debaters have made very, very solid points. So let's have a quick recap on, of course, both sides of the divide. We start with Hikmah, who's on Team Pay Later. She feels that the Pay Later model, when used responsibly, of course, can offer the younger generation valuable lessons in budgeting, managing their credit, and also financial planning. Paying later also can directly, you know, contribute to healthy credit growth if managed, of course, responsibly. And many buy now, pay later services, as well as credit cards and installment plans, they report that payment activity to your credit bureaus like CTOS, like you were mentioned. Pay later also options, they can fuel economic growth by increasing a consumer spending. When people have access to the credit and flexible payment options, they are more likely to, you know, make larger purchases, which also boosts certain sectors, you know, in the industry. All right, even creating new industries for the credit-related industries. And overall, Hikmah feels that the pay later system can be a better deal if used responsibly. The key word there, responsibly. When managed carefully, these systems, of course, allow the consumers to spread payments over time without having to incur any additional costs, hidden costs, you know, as Pavi would say. Whereas Pavi, okay, you who is on Team Pay Now, you feel that, of course, Pay Now encourages younger generations to be more mindful of their spending habits, which is critical for developing long-term financial discipline in the long term.
Yes.
Paying now also may not directly impact the consumer's credit score, but it indirectly promotes healthier financial habits, which can lead to long-term credit growth.
Yes.
And you also believe that the widespread adoption of paying now fosters a more stable economy by encouraging consumers to live within their means, save up, you know, avoid that debt in the long
risk.
Yeah. And lastly, Pay Now is often the more cost-effective option, which is it eliminates the potential for additional costs like those hidden charges, interest, late fees, whatever you say, and those are normally associated with pay later systems. Okay, everyone, both sides have presented really strong arguments, but it's really up to you, the audience, to decide who won this debate. So don't forget to drop a comment below and let us know who do you think made the better case. Be sure to follow us on KleverStock.my on our social media channels, and also don't forget to visit our website at www.KleverStock.live to catch our live sessions from Monday to Friday, where we cover everything from finance to market and trading. Thank you so much. I'm Wanizul Islam with our co-hosts Pavitra and Hikmah. We'll see you again at the next episode of Rich or Regret.
Scan now and download KleverStock.